Recording in progress.
All right, thank you for joining us for the East Aurora Village Board meeting of January 18th, 2022. If you could join us for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Maureen. Can I have attendance, please?
Porter, trustee Kimmelhart,
Here.
trustee Cameron. Here. Trustee Rosati,
Here.
trustee Lizikas,
Here.
trustee Shear,
Here.
Mayor Mercurio.
Present.
6 present, 1 absent.
Thank you. I get a motion to approve the minutes of the village board meeting for December 20th, 2021.
So moved.
Moved by Marcia. Second. Second by Tony. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Can I get a motion to approve the payment of abstracts for 1/3/2022 for voucher numbers 61737 to 61776 for a total of $88,006.68, as well as January 18th, 2022 for voucher numbers 61777 to 61853 for a total of $157,428.26.
So moved.
Moved by Kristen, second by Tony. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. It is my pleasure to present a certificate of appreciation for Karen Lee. So, whereas Karen Lee has been a citizen activist in the village of East Aurora for many years, attending various board meetings and commenting on numerous proposals, many comments. And whereas Karen's volunteerism, including serving as a key member of the group formed to rehabilitate and paint the railroad bridges, momentously improving the village's appearance and streetscape. And whereas in 2019, Karen was appointed as a member of the tree board. And whereas in 2018, Karen was appointed as a member of the planning commission, and in 2019 was selected as the planning commission chair, a position which she held until 2021. Now therefore, on behalf of the East Aurora Village Board and all village citizens, it is hereby proclaimed that our sincere appreciation and gratitude is expressed to Karen Lee for her dedicated service to the village, and we extend our best wishes for her success in all her future endeavors. Karen, it has been my pleasure to work closely with you on lots of stuff, especially those railroad bridges. When you came in and breathed new life into the whole project, you were a dog after a bone, and there was no way about it stuff. And we really owe you a lot of gratitude for all the service and all the things you've done for the village. Thank you so much.
This, you guys, not necessary at all, and it's just been my pleasure. I mean, it's so wonderful to have any kind of hand in helping me keep the village the best place to live on earth, which it certainly is. And I appreciate all your hard work. Thank you so much.
Thank you. This is our first speakers and communications. There will be another opportunity later in the meeting. If you have something you'd like to comment on, please raise your hand. When called on, you can come up to the microphone, give us your name and address, and tell us your thoughts. Anyone? Sir? Is that Sensei George? Come on up.
Longtime resident. We just,
Could you move the mic up, please?
oh, yeah,
Thank you.
I don't know if I'm getting us to, be taller, but it hasn't worked yet. Anyway, the reason I'm here is because I'd like to ask the board to write a letter to the New York State DOT because I was talking to one of the engineers when, last week when they installed the school signs in front of Mandala. Am I doing this wrong?
The 20-mile-an-hour school sign that they put up
Yeah,
on.
exactly. They're gonna take down the 30-mile-per-hour one, but they put up the other school sign. And he said, this is Ron Frey, one of the engineers there, said, what would really help would be 3 no turn on red signs on the 3 corners that don't already have one there on Olean and Main. There's one on Pine and Main, but not on the other 3. Because I think everybody here knows of, has either had a close call or knows of an accident or personal injury up there. Anyway, he said if the village board wrote a letter to the DOT, that they could probably be very likely to do that, but they wouldn't do it on an individual's request, of course. So, so I wrote up a letter. I don't know if you guys got it.
Yeah, we did.
Y'all get it? Okay. Anyway, I mean, especially if I've almost been hit a couple of times up there recently, and certainly all the kids crossing from Mandala or even the middle school are much less visible and are not thinking before they cross. So hopefully a letter would do the trick. And I put the address of the engineer, Michael Roach, who is in charge of that, who would hopefully do that for us if you request it.
Okay. Shane, can you have the safety committee take a look at this and weigh in? Thank you. So we'll have our safety committee, which is our DPW, fire chief, and police chief.
Oh, thanks.
And they'll take a look, and then they'll make a recommendation to the board, and then the board will decide if we're gonna send it on to the state.
Thank you. Well, they were wise.
You know what? Give it to Kathy, would you, Kathy? Will make sure they get
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we're not really using the word Brian. No.
It's on video.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Sensei George. Sensei George taught my kids karate down at the Legion, so that's why he gets the sensei. All right, still speakers and communications. Anyone else have anything they would like to speak on? Again, there'll be a second opportunity at the end of the meeting. All right. Moving on.
There's a hand up there.
Oh, I missed you. Sorry. Come on up, sir.
A lot of feedback.
How's it going? Dave Semino, 121 King Street. I just wanted to bring up something that I've noticed on Elm Street. The business that's on the corner of Elm and Oakwood, the trolley with the ice cream cones or whatever. They've hung up chains across all of the street trees to protect all of their parking spots that they're not using. And I think that that's probably not good for the trees. And as a tree board member, I also would like to bring that to your attention and see what can be done to tell them to find a different way.
Who's putting the chains there?
Whoever owns that property owns the
caboose.
The caboose,
Oh.
and also the big grain elevator. He owns them both. So, he blocks off all the parking spots. So, because he can, I guess, but he's hung chains up across all the street trees to block off the parking lots.
Yeah, that's,
Is it, are you seeing wear on the bark on the trees yet, or?
There are marks on the
Yeah.
trees, yes. So I think that's actually in violation of DPW code to fix anything in the street trees. So
Liz, can you look into that and let us know on? Or is-
We have to have identified that they are street trees first.
I can take it up with DPW. That's okay. Okay, thanks, man.
Perfect, thank you. All right, speakers and communications, anybody else? All right, moving on to public hearings. Can I get a motion to consider to open a public hearing to consider an application to keep 3 chickens at 243 Cazenovia Street from Caroline and Zach Taggart at 7:10 PM?
So moved.
Moved by Marcia, second?
Second.
Second by Steve. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. The public hearing is open. Is the applicant here? Is there anything you'd like to say? You're good. Very optimistic of you. So you had 3 chickens that were approved by the board at 442 or something Prospect, right? And now you bought the property at the very end of Casanova in the corner by the cemetery at that hill. That's a nice spot. So from your diagram, you're gonna have the chickens in the back and that little blue, it says garage. So that's a neighbor's garage next to where your chickens are gonna be. Is that what that means? Okay. And you said what was it, a 10 by 10 fence? Right? What kind of fence is it gonna be? Chain link fence? So it's what, 6 feet high or whatever, and then? Oh, yeah, makes sense. Shoot, I had another question. Oh, for Maureen, have there been any complaints or any concerns from any neighbors on the application? All right, but everybody on the list was notified, so they could have weighed in and no one has. Okay. All right. Mr. Taggart, anything you want to add? Okay, does the board have any questions for Mr. Taggart before we close the public hearing? Anybody from the public here want to speak on it? All right. All right, can I get a motion to close the public hearing at 7:12 PM?
So moved.
Moved by Steve, second by
Second.
Kristen,
Well, either one of us.
second by Kristen, and further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved, public hearing 4A is closed. I get a motion to open a public hearing to consider the site plan for the Blue Eyed Baker at 636 East Fillmore Ave at 7:13 PM.
So moved.
Moved by Steve, second? Second by Ernie. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. The public hearing is open. Is the applicant's representative here? Would you like to present?
My name's John Shenny. I'm here representing the applicant for the Blue Eyed Bakery at 636 East Fillmore. We went through the planning board a few weeks ago. They came back to us with a few questions that they asked us to address. The first was they suggested that we look into permeable pavement for the parking area. It's been our experience, permeable pavement doesn't work real well in this climate because it's very difficult to maintain grass growing in the concrete pavers with all the salt runoff from the cars. We've got a rain garden designed for the site that meets the requirements of the New York State DEC SWIP. And we feel by directing all the stormwater over to the rain garden that we're able to treat the runoff before it runs into Tannery Brook. And it would do a better job than having permeable pavement that would just soak the runoff into the ground and discharge it directly. That's our response to the planning board comment. They ask us to relocate the bike rack, which we've done. On our site plan here, bike rack's been located down there by our entrance driveway. We are storing all of the snow storage when the project's plowed in the winter, right next to the parking area here. And the last comment we received was one of the parapet at the building. Mechanical equipment. We've got rooftop units here. We've extended the parapet up 3 feet, so those are not visible from the street. And the parapet also tends to deflect the noise up that the rooftop units would make. Those are the comments we've addressed from the planning board. We've submitted the drawings to the village board here, and I'm here to answer any questions you might have.
I saw that. I wondered about the parapet. So it's gonna go all around that back section of the building or just around the mechanical?
Around all four sides.
All four sides?
Yeah.
And it said, what, a white brick veneer?
Yes,
So is that gonna go over the existing?
it will be added on top of the existing block.
Um. You had 35 seats max capacity. Could you just kind of, it was like 16 inside first floor, 10 outside first floor, 16 outside second floor. Could you just explain that to the group, what that's gonna look like?
Sure. Southern portion of that building will be the Blue Eye Baker on the ground floor. They're going to construct a tenant space on the northern portion of the building. And there will be a stairway that goes upstairs. So in the summertime, people could go upstairs and enjoy the patio on the second story.
For either business?
Yes,
It's gonna be so it's first floor dining, 12 seat, maximum seat capacity 12, outdoors 10, second floor master class 16 on the mezzanine, is that right?
that's correct.
So 22, 32, 38. I think it said earlier there was seating for maximum of 35. The maximum seat capacity is approximately 35 seats. That's in your letter. I guess I was just curious why the discrepancy.
I can't explain the discrepancy.
So which is it?
I'm sorry,
So which is it, I guess, 35 or 38?
I think it's 35.
Okay. And then there's what, 14 parking spaces plus street parking
Yes,
and 4 bicycle spaces. And Liz, 20 employees, I assume 20 employees won't be there at the same time, but so that many seats plus the employees and 14 spaces is plenty for the site. We don't require anything additional, right?
The village had given an exemption to the prior applicant for 4 spaces due to the proximity to the public parking lot across the street. In addition, the village has increased street parking on Riley, further up towards Gerard. There's also street parking on Church Street. And this keeps this smaller occupancy than what was previously approved.
The board's thoughts?
One question, previous discussions from the neighbors on Church Street had some concerns about whether there'd be a lot of music or speakers on the second floor and if the sound would travel. Have you looked into any of that? Are you having any plans to put any external speakers on the second floor?
we're not going to have external music at this facility.
Okay, thank you.
There'll be no external music at all.
That's correct.
So that short glass wall that we had proposed for the previous place is unnecessary.
Yeah, that was a whole different setup, I
Right.
think.
Right.
That was an evening drinking, eating outdoor venue. This is totally different. What are your hours? What are you limiting your hours to? Are you extending them with the new location, you think, or into the evening, or?
One of the recommendations. Yes, sir. So currently, right now, we're 7 to 5,
but we would absolutely be open to extending hours, you know, and we've had a lot of customer feedback. People get out of work around 4 or 5. They've asked that we remain open a little bit later. So we've had that feedback at the current location. Also, you know, one of the great things of this town is there's a lot of events and activities going on, especially with the ice rink. They're doing a lot of great
Mhm.
stuff now. So this building is right across from them. I'd love to be able to work with Scott Moore and some people at the rink and collaborate with them. And if there's things going on over there, offer pastries and hot chocolate and stay open a little bit later. But certainly the primary hours for the business would remain 7 to 5.
So an isolated after hours, meaning 7 o'clock or so, but not and I think that wall that we were recommending for the other thing was because it was 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night. So
Bands on the
bands,
patio
completely different
Yeah,
setup,
in
yeah.
the evening.
So I don't think
Residents-
that's an issue.
The residents on Church were the concern.
It is right on their special use application, which is after their site plan, that they have hours of Monday through Saturday, 7 to 5, and Sunday, 8 to 3. They want to do something special on occasions, they could do a temporary use permit, or if they wanted to extend these on a more regular basis, they could come back and request to amend their special use permit.
Sound good, Nick? So if you're gonna stay open later, you gotta come back and
Sure.
get it written off. Perfect. Anybody else on the board?
Oh, I do have one thing. I think the planning commission also had suggested looking at the safety of the crosswalks. And I know that a couple of years ago, and maybe a year and a half ago, we had a recommendation by a middle school student. And I know the safety committee looked at that intersection. But now that there's going to be a business there, I'm wondering if that could increase the potential hazard at that intersection.
I don't have an answer for you, so I could not, I don't know how much foot traffic it would have, but.
It just feels like it's something we probably want to keep an eye on. Yeah.
Yeah, that was it, right? Those are the 4 conditions by the PC.
Yeah.
The permeable option you guys are not gonna go with because of your rain garden. And it would kill the grass. The alternate snow stacking location you moved, correct?
That's correct.
The pedestrian safety crossing, Shane's gonna monitor. And then you're gonna put in the parapet that they asked for to ensure the
Yes,
noise
we are.
goes up. That's great. I know the middle school had a piece of equipment on the back of their building and it just pointed right across the street and the neighbors called me, they all live on Fillmore. And so we called the school and they just put a little something there and whoop, that was it. Send the noise up, you can't even hear, you can't even tell it's on anymore.
Right.
Versus it coming right through the window. So thanks for doing that. All right, anybody from the public have any comments while the public hearing is still open? The board, no more questions for them? I get a motion to close the public hearing for the site plan for 636 East Fillmore at 7:24 PM. Moved by Tony, second.
Second.
Second by Marcia, further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. That public hearing is closed. Can I get a motion to open a public hearing to consider the special use permit for the Blue Eyed Baker at 636 East Fillmore at 7:24 PM?
So moved.
Moved by Steve, second.
Second.
Ernie, further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. This public hearing is open. Anything to add regarding the special use permit? All right. Anybody from the public want to comment? Is that Alex? Hi.
I own Blue Eyed Baker. My husband and I just want to say that we're really grateful for the opportunity to grow our business on East Fillmore. We're both local. We grew up in East Shore. We've been growing our business organically here since 2015, including farmers markets and on our current space on Elm Street. We see this move as an opportunity to grow our business and to offer more to the community, and including better parking and naturally reducing the congestion in the area, which we've experienced on Elm Street. Additionally, we would create more jobs for community and offer more opportunities for the local Ormsby program. I grew up around the corner from this building, and I always remember it from my childhood being a cool spot for a bakery. And we're excited for this opportunity to transform this building into an aesthetically pleasing addition to the village corner. That's all I want to say.
Nice, thank you. Can you tell me about the Ormsby thing you mentioned?
Yeah, so we work with students in Ormsby. We offer internships for them. So last year we took on 4 students. And actually we ended up hiring a couple of them to work with us.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, you're fine. Anyone else? Anybody else have any questions for them? Anyone else from the public want to speak on this public hearing? Can I get a motion to close the public hearing at 7:26 PM?
So moved.
Moved by Tony, second.
Second.
Second by Steve. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Public hearing 4C is closed. Thank you, John. Moving on to official considerations, 5A, can I get a motion to appoint Patrick Shea as a new police officer with a start date of January 17th, 2022?
So moved.
Moved by Kristen, second.
Second.
Second by Steve. Further discussion? Shane, you want to chime in?
Sure. I think we all are familiar with Pat and his family. Pat's an excellent candidate, local kid who I think will grow very well into his position with our department and fit right in.
Awesome. I have firsthand experience with Patrick Shea. He was in Boy Scouts with my son Jameson, so we spent many a year in meetings and campouts and that kind of thing, and he always exhibited perfect character. I'm a big fan. I think he's going to be a great addition to the department. Anybody else have any comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Nobody? Approved.
I can't believe it.
Congratulations, Patrick.
Yeah.
Welcome to the team. Would you like to say anything? You don't have to.
Just really appreciative of all you. Thank you for appointing me. Obviously, Chief, thank you for giving me this opportunity. I love this town. Grown up here all my life. My dad has a huge impact, and he loves this town too, and being able to give back. I just want to help maintain the safety and integrity that it has. So, thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks.
5B, can I get a motion to approve the application to keep 3 chickens at 243 Casanova Street from Caroline and Zach Taggart?
So moved.
Moved by Steve, second. Second by Ernie. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. 5C, can I get a motion to approve a negative deck under the State Environmental Quality Review Act for an unlisted action for the site plan to the Blue Eyed Baker at 636 East Fillmore Ave?
So moved.
Moved by Kristen,
Second.
second by Marcia. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Neg deck is approved. 5D, can I get a motion to approve the site plan for the Blue Eyed Baker at 636 East Fillmore Ave?
So moved.
Moved by Ernie, second by Marcia. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. 5E, can I get a motion to approve the special use permit for the Blue Eyed Baker at 636 East Fillmore Ave?
So moved.
Moved by Kristen, second by Steve. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's approved. Congratulations. 5F, can I get a motion to authorize the mayor to sign the easement license agreement with the Pope Yoke at 227 Main Street?
So moved.
Moved by Marcia. Second?
Second.
Second by Steve. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Can I get a motion? Why does it say discussion and decision on a requested tree removal? We're making a motion on whether or not we're gonna approve the tree removal, right?
You're going to further discuss it and decide what the fate would be.
Can I get a motion, one way or another, and the request for a tree removal at 831 East Fillmore Ave from Mary and Ralph Gaze?
So moved.
Move what?
that we have a discussion and make a decision on whether or not to remove the tree. I would, okay, I'd like to move that we approve removing the tree at 831 East Fillmore Avenue.
The motion is to approve removing the tree.
Yes.
Second.
Second by Steve. Now, further discussion.
Well, you all know how I feel about silver maple. That's all, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
He's mentioned.
And clearly, the applicants have spent a lot of money trying to solve the problem on a piecemeal basis. We heard from the arborist who said the tree is near the end of its lifespan anyway. The risk seems like it isn't worth the reward for just a few years.
Right. It also seemed like from what he said, that strategies to keep the tree alive and still be able to repair the sidewalk and everything might cause the death of the tree anyway.
Right.
It's in that precarious a condition, so.
So to clarify, who's gonna remove the tree? Our DPW will remove it.
It is a village tree.
A street
so it has to
village
be
tree,
us.
so we would be responsible for removing it. After which, we would expect the property owner to repair the sidewalk unimpeded.
Do they understand that they're on the hook for that?
We've been clear about that, yes.
Any other comment? All right, on the motion to remove the tree at 831 East Fillmore, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Can I get a motion to authorize the mayor to sign the Hamlin Park agreement with the town of Aurora?
So,
Moved by Tony, second by, is that you,
Marcia.
Marcia? Further discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Nice to finally have something on paper after
It's been a
50
long
years.
time coming.
All right. Can I get a motion to approve the budget adjustments as listed? Moved by Ernie, second,
Second.
second by Marcia. Further discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Can I get a motion to schedule a public hearing on February 7th for the site plan application for 189 King Street?
So moved.
Moved by Kristen, second,
Second.
second by Marcia. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Public hearing is set. I get a motion to schedule a public hearing on February 7th for a local law considering the tax cap override.
So moved.
Moved by Steve, second,
Second.
second by Ernie. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Public hearing is set. I get a motion to schedule a public hearing on February 22nd, proposing to rescind the site plan improvement for townhouses to be located at 636 East Fillmore Ave.
So
So
moved.
moved.
Moved by Kristen, second by Steve. Further discussion. Kathy, you just want to explain this, please?
Just that this particular property currently has two approvals that are completely different issued for it, which is highly unusual, as Chris, our attorney, and I have discussed. So we feel as though now that it is clear that they are going forward with a proposal to have it be a retail mixed use, what have you, building, including the Blue Eyed Baker, they're not going to have condos there, is our expectation. So you would rescind that approval, so it's just not on the books anymore, and all of the surrounding property owners know what to expect there.
Kathy, is there a reason why we pushed it out? Could we do that on February 7th also?
We've got about 7 on there, even though they're really short public hearings, so we just put it out a little bit
Just for
farther.
balance of
Just,
time?
yes, to balance them out, exactly.
Okay, that's not going to interfere though with the Blue Eyed Baker.
It has nothing to do with it, no.
Mr. Sorgi, you're on board with this? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Public hearing is set. Can I get a motion to schedule a public hearing on February 22nd, amending the village code section 249 vehicles and traffic?
So moved.
Moved by Marcia, second,
Second.
second by Kristen. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Public hearing is set. Can I get a motion to adopt the hazardous mitigation resolution for the joint county hazard mitigation plan?
So moved.
Moved by Ernie, second.
Second.
Second by Tony. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Kathy, did you want to comment on that? You look like you were ready.
I can, if you all are good with it. It's a county plan, so we don't have to do it individually. So we're on board with the county. It was a big joint effort. Liz and even Bill before he retired all worked on it together, and Matt included. So we're good to go, and that the county's happy with what we've done for our participation.
Perfect, thank you. And we voted already, so that was approved. Can I get a motion for approval for the permission for the administrator to approve the temporary special use permits for outdoor dining this year due to COVID?
So moved.
Moved by Steve, second. Second by Tony. Further discussion. What are the guardrails around this, please?
Okay, so the one hitch that we might run into that does not have anything to do with us is the right-of-way on Main Street. And last year, the DOT was very relaxed their rules for what they would allow in the right-of-way, which is pretty wide. Some places with like 5 feet of the building, so you really couldn't do much without the DOT's permission. So so this year, we understand they have not relaxed their rules. So we would advise anyone who wants to do this that we're very happy to help them with the businesses. We really want to. There's no question on that. But we need to work along with the state DOT, and they would have to get a permit from the DOT. I did try in advance for this meeting to find out what all was involved in that process. And I have not gotten a return call back from the DOT, even though they had said they would get back with me soon. So I'm still waiting to hear from them. I'm happy to advise our business owners, but it is another thing that we have no control over, unfortunately.
But it's only places on Main Street.
But it's
But
not,
otherwise,
it's not usual that we have requests for this off of Main Street. Yeah, actually, I should take that
parking
back.
lot use, I think we had
And
agreed
yes,
before.
any place that has a right of way on a state highway, which could be other places other than Main Street.
If someone's on a side street or a back street, they can reach out to us.
Yes, if they're not
We'll see
funded
what
on
we
a
can do.
state highway, we can work with them directly ourselves in a very quick fashion.
Very good. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. I got a motion to appoint Stacy Orr to the Planning Commission to fill an unexpired term ending April 4th, 2023.
So moved.
Moved by Kristen, second.
Second.
Second, Tony. Further discussion? Thanks for Stacy for stepping up. She used to be on the PC, and now that her kids are off in college, she has agreed to come back and bring her experience back to bear and help the community. So thank you to Stacy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. I get a motion to refer to planning a site plan application for 42 Riley Street, Snap Fitness.
So moved.
Kristen, second.
Second.
Marcia, further discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved, please refer. God bless you, whoever did that. 5R, can I get a motion to refer to the Planning Commission for a propane tank exchange, 42 Riley Street, Ace Hardware?
So moved.
Moved by Steve, second.
Second.
Second by Marcia, further discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved, referred. I get a motion to refer to planning for residential subdivision 363 Prospect and 0 Walnut, applicant Terrence Kopp.
So moved.
Moved by Kristen, second.
Second.
Second by Tony, further discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved, referred. I get a motion to schedule a public hearing on February 7th for local law amending Village Code Section 220 Stormwater.
So moved.
Moved by Marcia, second. Steve, further discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved, public hearing is scheduled. No new business, moving on to our second speakers and communications. This is your second and final opportunity to speak on any issue you choose. Raise your hand and when acknowledged, please come up. Anybody? All right. Moving on to the department head report, Shane.
The only thing for this. The only thing I have is, we just got notice that our first officer that we're going to try to get into drug recognition school has an interview scheduled for, I believe, the beginning of February. That's quite the process. You don't just sign up to the school and attend. You have to actually be selected through a process. So I'll let you know how that goes.
Thank you, Shane. Matt?
As of the past couple of days, we've been working on snow plowing and snow removal. That's about it.
Sure, it's been keeping you busy. The sidewalk plow flies.
Yeah.
So I'm booking around the village twice today. All right, thank you, Matt. Liz?
I don't have anything tonight.
This
Thank
is
you.
good. Kathy?
Just, we've been working on a lot of our routine items and just say, I don't know what it is, but we seem to have a rash of all these little code things that are coming up and it's just basically as we find them, obviously we want our code to be 100% correct, but we continuously find that it's not. So just an FYI. So whenever I find it, I usually work in conjunction with Chris and or Maureen. So we're getting a lot of these little things done. Then we will do a very important, and Maureen can address this, code update. So instead of going to our code and seeing something that might be out of date or seeing something says, well, here's the new laws I've adopted, you got to go to another place to see what's what. It'll all be proper in there, which will be very important because we want people to be able to just call up our code and know what they're looking at. Regardless, whenever you do adopt something new in the code, it is effective as of the time that you adopt it once the state approves it. And Chris is really great about sending it into the state. So these just come up and we're just doing them as they come along. That's it.
Thanks, Kathy. Maureen?
Kathy, wait a minute, can I
Oh, please
interject
do.
something here? Okay. So I know I reached out to you in response to the note you sent out that something was posted on the emergency
Yes.
Facebook page about trash pickup, which I think was really helpful. For me, that was new. I didn't know it existed. So I am concerned about getting more information out to residents. And I'm hoping that hopefully within the next meeting or two, would you be able to discuss the topic of code red or some other sort of emergency?
Yes, we can
wide
absolutely do that. I know that particular vendor and has been advanced by the town and they're all ready to go. But as you have seen in emails, I think that you've been copied on, we had some questions and we're getting some clarifications and Maureen has been working on that with the vendor because she was at one meeting that I wasn't, so she's better prepared to speak with a vendor. But we still have a little bit of conflicting information, if I'm not mistaken, Maureen. So we really want to we don't want to come to you and say, okay, this is what it is, and then come back a week later and say, oh yeah, that wasn't good information. So we have really been trying to do our due diligence and get very concise and clear, especially if we get into disagreement with doing it along with the town, then we probably need to have an intermunicipal agreement for how that's going to work, which would be provided by the town if they're going to have the contract with a vendor. We have not even seen the contract that would be with a vendor yet that we have requested. So it's kind of like, we've been working on it and not dragging our feet, but we still are waiting for information to come our way.
So I just think when I looked at some of the scenarios in a way that it could be used, and then, you know, we end up with a big snowstorm or, you know, people are wondering, you know, is there a driving ban and things like that. Just a way to be able to push information, you know, for people who maybe not Facebook users. So.
It is surprising though, I have to say for this particular instance, that website is, I think we have 1,800 some odd followers and it was pushed out or shared or whatever, like there were 3,000 engagements or something, you know, you get the stats on the page. So I was really happy with that as far as that goes. So,
yeah, I
mean,
and
then I think even people who see it on Facebook and know somebody's not on it and they could, you know, just mention to their neighbors. So I do feel that that's, you know, in the interim, certainly, and thinking about it yesterday, you know, when it was going on and putting it out, felt that that was a pretty effective way, and it did get, I don't know if it did get shared on that East Aurora site too, which we won't post it. But actually Sue Fries, former town board member, gets credit for it. She started it and immediately asked the town if we wanted to join, so I have access to post on it. So that was fairly effective, I think.
So, yeah, I think we just need to publicize that it's out there. It's like, I
And-
joined now, so now.
And
I
we
get to
can
see it.
very well do
Yeah.
that also, yes.
Okay, thank you.
So one of my updates was Code Red.
Okay.
And I actually
Sorry.
was talking with the vendor today because some of the information, I think depending on how you pose the question to who you pose it to at Code Red, or well, it's actually not even Code Red, it's the vendor who's selling it. You might get a slightly different answer. So I'm trying to get them all in writing. So I literally was on the phone with him today saying, okay, but now I need you to put that in writing because you know, he gives one answer to Luke and a different answer to me. So I need to make sure that what we're making our decision on is based on what is really going to be happening for us. So that's one thing. I guess we have a lot of information. All the department heads have seen the software, so we can discuss how each department would use it. We kind of have a plan in place of ideas of how we would get the message out if we did it. There is a concern that we wouldn't get a lot of people necessarily because we've had similar things in the past and only gotten a few hundred people to sign up. So I guess we have a few ideas, so we'll go through that when I guess we're ready. I just didn't want to give it to you all in bits and pieces. I know I did send you guys a bit of information in an email, but hopefully I'll have better information once it's done. We did actually get that contract a couple hours ago, but we are waiting for the information from the town on what they're projecting our share to be. So I guess I can't even say about the cost until we know what that is. So there's that. And there's going to be a lot involved with it, I think, for us, because we have so many more departments who would be using it. So like my department, I might be able to cost justify it if you don't do mailers anymore. And we use this instead, where no other department would really be able to cost justify it. So I guess we kind of have to look at what you guys want to do with it and how you want to use it and what kind of rules you want to put in place. So it's not an easy setup, in my opinion.
My hope would be too, that if you tried it in the past, it might be different now because I think it's being used pretty effectively in these tourist schools. So I think a lot of people are getting more comfortable getting notified, you know, by text or emails or phone calls or all the above. So, you know, maybe there'd be more takers. You know?
I don't disagree with that. I also agree that there's more people doing technology right now than necessarily were in the past.
Yeah.
But I think we want to make sure, like, so when my daughter's school messages me, so I get a text message, I get a phone call, I get an email all at the same time, and I get so annoyed and I just want to turn it off. And if it wasn't for the fact that it was her school, I would turn it off. We want to make sure that whatever we put out there isn't something that people are going to be like, oh, the village is messaging us again, turn it off. Right? Because I would do it. I would totally do it. I'd be like, don't care, done. We want it to be something that's effective and reasonable messages being put out and not just everything in the world being put out so that people are like, don't want to hear you guys.
No,
Yeah,
you're
so
right.
the
People
approval.
mentally mute it, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be important stuff.
Got it.
And that's part of what we're trying to work out with the
Yeah.
town. I mean, we're moving forward, but there's a lot of little details. We just got to figure out to get it right so that we're comfortable with it. We don't want people, you know, signing on and putting bake sales on there. It's got to be important stuff. So it means something when people look into it. And then, like you said, we'll have to sell it to the community to opt into it so that they use it.
Yeah, and I guess we can get like these cool QR codes and have people, like we could have them at the meeting. So if somebody says, I don't get my messages, we can be like, well, come scan over here and you can sign up in 2 seconds. So I'm working with them to find out how we do all of that stuff to make it really easy to sign up. So that was one thing I have on my, that was one thing I had on my list. We did get a notice from NYSERDA today that we are officially getting that $5,000. So we got that. The check is in the mail, they say. You guys did the resolution today to fund the rest of the streetlights. So we're all set on that. You guys verbally said it the other day, and then when you passed the budget adjustment, that allowed that. So that's very exciting. And my whole department has been starting all the reports for the history for the budget reports for your budget meetings.
Very good. Thank you, Maureen. All right, trustees, Marcia,
Nothing this time.
Kristen.
I just want to remind everybody, to shovel out your fire hydrants for the fire department. In case of emergency, you want that done sooner rather than later. And also when there seems to have been some forgetting about this in the past couple of days, or maybe everybody was just tired from getting rid of 17 inches of snow. But when you're clearing the end of your driveway, to not push that out into the road. There are some obstacle courses going on in the village right now, and I think the DPW has enough to deal with the snow that falls down rather than coming from out. So just, yeah, be cognizant of your neighbors. Good luck with the snow. Call somebody if you need help. There's plenty of people here who are happy to lend a hand. So that's all I've got.
Thank you, Kristen. Ernie?
Thank you to Matt and his crew for doing such a good job clearing the streets, keeping things normal for us. That's it.
Thank you, Ernie. Tony?
One quick question for Matt. There seems to be some trees popping up with orange dots on them. Are we marking trees for doing maintenance or something? Or is it somebody else? Yes. So they're gonna be taken down by DPW then?
NYSEG is gonna be removing those trees.
Oh, good. Okay, thank you. That was it.
Actually, I'm gonna piggyback on that. Matt, who makes the decision which trees come down there? Is it NYSEG? Is it you? Is it the tree board? Is it all in conjunction?
NYSEG came in and requested that we do something with those trees, and I got a hold of the arborist. He came out and condemned the ones that are coming down.
How many, Matt?
I believe 3 out of 6 on Walnut near Oakwood.
Anything else, Tony?
Nope, I'm done.
All right, Steve?
All set.
I know I let the trustees know over the last 2+ years, I've been meeting with Brian Russ, having discussions on the SRO. Sometimes it's just Brian and I, sometimes it was me, Brian, Shane, Jim Bach, the supervisor, trying to come up with a solution as we knew Joe Farrar was going to retire. And more recently, it was me, Maureen, and Brian, and we've finally come up with a solution that we think is agreeable to all 3 parties, right? The town, who has to sign off on it because they're part of the contract, and the village, and the school board. So the school board has approved it. The town board is reviewing it now. Once they sign off on it, then it comes to the village, and then we'll all get to weigh in and decide. I just want to make sure you guys are aware of what's cooking, and if you have questions, you can reach out to Maureen. She can help you understand the numbers a little bit. The US Post Office is giving away free COVID tests. You get 4 per address. If you need that link, reach out to the village. We can provide it. We'll put it on the village website. Thank you. And that's it. COVID is real. It's rampant. Please take precautions and stay safe. Can I get a motion to go into executive session to discuss what's the correct verbiage? To discuss potential litigation.
So moved.
Moved by Marcia, second. Second by Tony. Further discussion? We don't intend on voting anything after we come out of executive session. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Thank you for coming to the meeting. Congratulations. There you go.